Yo, welcome back to the Destination Unknown Dude channel. As usual, we got rain all around us. Just everywhere is getting blasted except for us. We got clouds every doggone where, and none of it's stopping here. We got a hell of a lot of rain last night, but anyways, that's not what we're talking about. So I've hinted about this, talked about this a couple times, and I finally got on the AI train and figured out how much I'm spending on fuel and whether an electric car is worth the investment. And thankfully, I'm in the Philippines where we have a ton of Chinese car options. And they are dirt cheap and nice. So I got on the AI so I didn't have to do the math myself. Put in my 2010 Innova. Put in that I'm driving 100 kilometers per day, which is like 52 miles, which is quite a bit in the Philippines. And with all the traffic and chaos, I could be in the car for 4 hours driving those 52 miles. So do the math on that. It's pretty terrible. And I take the highway part of the way, but it's the other parts that kill me. Stuck in traffic going dirt slow. So as I've always said, I think electric cars make a lot of sense here, even considering that there's minimal charging infrastructure. You just don't drive far in the Philippines, and when you do, it's rare, and you just rent a car. Or if you're going on vacation, normally you're not staying on the same island. You go on a flight, so you just need to get to the airport. So I think there's a lot of people that are making a lot of assumptions and not really studying their driving habits in the Philippines, and they're applying the way it is back home to the Philippines, and not really understanding that you're not going to get in the car and drive 400 kilometers. You're just not here. At least I'm not. I've driven from where I'm at in Magalang to the beach, past 100 Islands, but that's not 400 kilometers. And if I can charge anywhere where I'm at, I mean, an electric car could do it. But I'm not saying I'm going to take an electric car on a trip like that. I would rent a car. It's easy to rent a car here, as long as you don't rent from the big name operations. You just get on Facebook, find somebody renting their car to make extra money, make a video of it before you leave their driveway, make a detailed video of the condition of the vehicle, and then take it on the trip. And you can do that for like 20 bucks a day, 1,000 pesos a day. Easy, no problem. Just tell them where you're going. They're going to want to know where you're going and all that kind of stuff. But back to the subject. So I get on AI, plug in my 100 kilometers a day, plug in my car, and it's telling me, and then I plug in the current gas prices, which are between 80 and 90 pesos per liter. And it's telling me what I'm already tracking. It's telling me that I'm going to be spending 30,000 plus pesos in fuel per month. And I just started tracking that on July 16th, and it's adding up. What AI is telling me on what my expected fuel mileage is, and what I'm getting, and how much I'm spending, all that's adding up. So multiply 30 times 12, and you got a bunch of money being spent on fuel. Fuel only, not maintenance, not repairs, not upgrades, not tires, not oil change, not nothing. And I'm driving an old car. I've replaced many of the air conditioning components. It drove through a flood, not while I was driving, but it drove through a flood, picking up the baby from school, and I had to replace the wheel bearing. Now that was cheap. I had to replace 2 wheel bearings. You don't just replace one. But, that was a cheap fix, but, it takes money. to keep a car on the road in any condition. So when you're spending 400,000 pesos a year on fuel, it doesn't take a whole lot of years before you're thinking there's got to be a better way. And what better way do I have? Excess solar generation. And yes, I live on a dirt road, and that's always been my hesitation, but thinking logically instead of emotionally, if I can buy a Chinese piece of garbage, and I don't even have to like the company, the car, the nothing. If that car lasts me 2 years, it's paid for itself in my fuel savings. Thereabouts, okay? I can get a Chinese car. For example, I'm looking at the Geely EX2. And that car, I can get the premium version for right at 1 million pesos. So 16,500-ish. So it doesn't take many years before that car is paid for by the fuel savings. So I can, at that point, it's a Chinese car. It's got to last me 2 years. It's got a warranty for 3. It's got to last me 2 years, and then it's paid for itself. That third year that is still under warranty is gravy. So I screwed up. I looked at the AI, and now I got a plan. I got to get an electric car, and that's what I'm probably going to do. Yes, it's going to take an initial investment. It's cash. I'm not going to do payments. I'm a foreigner. I don't want to deal with any of that. I don't want to pay interest out the yin yang, any of that. I'm going to drop the cash down. It's easy to do. You do a bank transfer. It's no problem. And when you go in, like I've told you before, when you're looking at a car, you go to the dealership, they show you the price, you pay the price. That's simple. There's not a bunch of baloney here. There's not the games. There's not the anything. You can try to negotiate if you want, but they're gonna tell you no. The price is the price, and it includes tax tag, 3 years of registration, and in some instances it includes insurance, but the Geely does not, and that's going to be another 30,000 per year for insurance, and that's full coverage. I don't know the deductible, but it's full coverage, wrecks, everything's covered. So for 1 month's worth of fuel, I can have insurance for a year, and the rest of it is gravy. I keep the car for 2 years-ish, and what I save in fuel, because my fuel is free. My fuel is electricity from the sun, and I have excess after 12 in the afternoon. I have excess. I can charge that car for free, and I can drive it for free with my existing solar infrastructure. And so that gives me 2 wins off of that solar. First win is I don't have to deal with the utilities here in the Philippines, and it is raining right now. I don't know if you can tell. And so I already won with my solar, okay? Second win is whatever the world wants to do with their gas and their gas prices, and whatever strait wants to get blown up, whatever, is not going to affect me. I'm paying the same amount every day, every week, every month with an electric car, and that is zero. I've got excess solar. I generate, theoretically, I think I could generate 100 kilowatts per day with my solar array. I can only use 45 kilowatts of it at my house. Once my batteries are full, then there's no more need for generation, and whatever comes off the solar panels feeds the house and whatever it's using. So like 2,000 watts for some air conditioners, or somebody's cooking lunch or taking a shower, whatever. The rest of the 16,000 potential is gone. It doesn't come to the house. It doesn't do anything. So it's extra. It's overhead. It can charge that car. And oh, by the way, that car can do what's called vehicle to load. So it's got 40,000 watts in the battery in the car, and let's say we don't have anywhere to drive the next day, and the car is fully charged and the house needs juice. Well, we can plug that car into the house and wire it into the generator port of my inverter and use that as a generator. So power feeds from the car into the house, into the generator port on the inverter, and we don't have to flip the switch to the grid. Now flipping the switch to the grid is no big deal. We've got the grid here, it's fine. But it's just another thing that we can do. It's another option. You know, if it's a hurricane here and the grid's blown up and the car's full, that gets us another few days of power usage for nothing, for free. It's a built-in generator. And yeah, you know, it puts extra load on the batteries of the car and whatever, but they're lithium iron phosphate. They can handle 3,000 to 5,000 cycles. It's going to be fine. So that's the game plan. That's what it's doing. That car only needs to last me 2 years until it's paid for itself in my fuel savings. Whatever happens to that car after that, I could run it off a cliff. I don't care. I'm already money ahead. I don't care about the dirt road anymore. I don't care about wiping it out. I don't care about it getting scratched up. I don't care about backing it into a semi. I don't care. As long as I can get 2 years out of that bitch, I'm winning. If I get 3, 4, 5 years out of it, I'm super winning. So when you can get a car, an electric car that can go 400 kilometers for $16,000, it opens up a lot of options. And that's why there's no Chinese cars coming to the US. And the US is having problems. They're banning stuff from the Chinese. So, you know, I don't agree with that. It's like, you can't buy Chinese inverters anymore, apparently. You can't buy Chinese routers. You can't buy other Chinese electronics. You can't buy some Chinese drones. I don't agree with that crap. You know, hey, if they're worried about Chinese security and all that kind of stuff, then do something. Do something about it. Put some requirements in place, but don't be banning the gear. Anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But we're looking at making the plunge. I'm going to get me a piece of junk, and I'll do a video about it. I'm going to get me a piece of crap Chinese car, and I'm going to show you guys what you can get in another country and how much it's going to take, how much money it's going to take, and how much sense it makes for me. Because in the US, what are your options for a cheap electric car? You got the Chevy Volt, and you got the Nissan Leaf and whatever other Nissan whatever, and there's limited options. Here, you can get a tiny, I've already shown you the pictures of those things, a tiny electric car for $8,000 that'll go, it's got 40 horsepower, it'll go run your errands, and it'll seat 4 people in a pinch. But it'll go run your errands, and it's dirt cheap, and it's $8,000. And it looks silly, but I'll tell you what, it's a car with a mission, and it's dirt cheap, and it accomplishes that mission. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing it. Even though I said I wouldn't, I finally ran the numbers, and it's stupid for me not to do it. So would I rather buy diesel and smell diesel and deal with the diesel than get a nice fancy new electric car? Not really. This thing sucks. I hate driving this thing, but it's cheap and it served its purpose, and I don't dislike the vehicle. But if I can get a brand new vehicle, shiny, flashy, new, for cheap, and let it pay for itself in the money I save by not fueling this thing, yeah, I'm doing it. And if you think that the Strait of Hormuz is going to get squared away once the issues with America and Iran are done, you got another thing coming. They have just figured out their gravy train, and they're going to be screwing with that strait from now till the end of time. So that's not going away. And so we're going to be energy independent on our home living, and we're going to be energy independent on our vehicle travel. And if we need to take a long trip, we'll consider the electric, and maybe by the time we want to take a trip, the charging infrastructure is matured here in the Philippines to the point where we could take a trip and count on a charger being ready. If we're going north of where we're at, maybe we could. South of where we're at, maybe not. Maybe Manila, but south of Manila, I don't know. But doesn't matter. There's plenty of options that we can choose where we can save money. Heck, we could even keep this thing for road trips. where we could save money, save fuel, not have to smell diesel, not have to listen to the diesel, drive something new. And in what situation have you ever been in where the money you save in fuel pays for the vehicle? This is an unheard of situation that I find myself in, and I would love it if you guys could get on board with that. You know, if you guys have the option, look at it, consider it. Be logical about your vehicle needs. Just because you take a trip 2 times a year doesn't mean you need a plug-in hybrid, or doesn't mean you need to have a 20-passenger van. For those 2 trips, you have options. You can rent a car. It's not a big freaking deal here. If you use the big rental agencies, you're gonna be paying $75 a day for a rental car. I've done it. It's terrible. I rented from Avis. It was $75 for a cheap Toyota Aveo, whatever the heck, smaller than a Corolla. Garbage. And they wanted to look it over with a microscope for any scratches or anything, any damages. Man, I rode that thing down the road, turned around and rode back. I didn't even use that car for a whole day. And they wanted to try to bend me over on some damages. That's why you got to take a video anytime you're renting a car in the Philippines. So there you go. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm up to. You'll be hearing from me on this here shortly. I'm sure I'll repeat myself a million times on it as to what, when, why, where, how. But that's what we're going to look at doing. And they don't have stocks here for the vehicles, so you're looking at a few weeks if you put a deposit down on something. You can drive. They have demo cars you can drive, but if you want to buy, you usually have to wait a couple weeks for it to hit the boat. So you put a deposit down and wait for it to come, and it shows up, and you're off to the races. All right, y'all. That's what we're up to. Destination Unknown Dude out. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me hear from you. See ya.